This is a story from the Dream Tree Galaxy. If you go on an adventure before your dreams take flight, then look up in the sky and you might just see it. The beautiful galaxy of yonder, where stars are born from wishes and dreams come true. In this galaxy, far away from our own, there is a world made of stardust and moonlight, a place where all the animals talk and where every child has a special power, a power that waits to be discovered. Our story starts with a brave little girl named Luma, who has hair like spun moonlight and eyes that shine like distant stars. Now Luma lived in a world full of wonder, and her home was nestled between hills made of sparkling sugar cubes and lollipop flowers. But even though her world was filled with sweets, Luma wasn't very happy. You see, she couldn't find anyone to play with because no one understood her language. She would often feel sad and wish for someone who could understand her and be her friend. One day while playing by her window, Luma saw something amazing. It was a shooting star. As it streaked across the sky, it left behind a trail of sparkling dust. And as the dust settled, something incredible happened. The star turned into a beautiful bluebird right outside her window. "Oh my!" cried Luma, hiding behind the curtains. "A talking bird! How is that possible?" The bluebird tilted its head and chirped, "Hello there. Can you understand me? Do you have a wish for me?" Startled but curious, Luma peeked out the window and asked, "You can understand me, but how?" The bluebird hopped closer and whispered, "I am a wish weaver, here to grant you a wish. For helping me escape the clutches of the Shadow Eater." The Shadow Eater, Luma gasped, remembering the dark, scary figure she had seen lurking around her town. "But how did he catch you?" the bluebird explained. "He swallowed me whole and trapped me inside his shadow sack. But you can free me if you bring me to the Whispering Waterfall and use your starlight song to break the curse." Luma was scared, but seeing the bluebird in trouble gave her courage. She knew she had to help. Before leaving, the bluebird gave Luma a magical feather. "Use this feather to call me whenever you need help," it said. Then it flew away, leaving Luma with a mix of excitement and fear. Taking a deep breath, Luma stepped outside her house. The familiar streets looked different somehow, more mysterious and a little scary. But with the bluebird's words echoing in her ears, she began her journey towards the Whispering Waterfall. On her way, Luma came across a field full of fluffy white clouds. The clouds were so soft and inviting that Luma couldn't resist. She lay down on them and closed her eyes, drifting off to sleep. As she slept, the clouds gently tossed her in the air like a soft, fluffy cloud bed. After a while, the clouds deposited her gently on the ground, waking her up. Realizing it was time to keep going, Luma stood up, brushed off the dirt and continued walking towards the waterfall. After what felt like hours, she finally saw it, the Whispering Waterfall. Water cascaded down rocks, creating a soothing melody. But at the base of the waterfall, she found the Shadow Eater waiting for her. His form was dark and shapeless, like a monster made out of everyone's bad dreams. He had a huge sack beside him, and she could hear the bluebird trapped inside. When he saw Luma, the Shadow Eater cackled, so the little stargazer came to rescue her bird. "But before you save her, you must face me." Then he lunged at Luma. Startled, Luma closed her eyes tight, waiting for the worst. But instead of feeling sharp claws or teeth, she felt something wet and squishy. When she opened her eyes, she saw that the Shadow Eater had turned into a big, fat slug. Luma had never seen a slug that big before, and she couldn't help but giggle. Seeing this, the slug got even bigger and squishier, then let out a loud burp that smelled like rotten eggs. Disgusted, Luma took a step back and accidentally tripped over a rock. As she fell, she instinctively reached out and grabbed onto the first thing she saw, which happened to be the slug. "Help me," she cried. But instead of helping her, the slug wiggled with laughter. It was so surprised to see someone riding on its back. Then it started to squirm even more, trying to shake Luma off. At that moment, Luma remembered the bluebird's words about her starlight song. Taking a deep breath, She closed her eyes and started to sing a beautiful song that sounded like tinkling bells and shimmering stars. As she sang, the slug stopped struggling and slowly turned into the bluebird. "Thank you, Luma," the bluebird said, chirping happily. "You have saved me and now I can grant your wish." Then it disappeared in a flash of light, leaving behind a beautiful, shimmering staff. Luma picked up the staff, not knowing what to wish for. She thought about how lonely she had been and suddenly her wish came to her. "I want someone who can understand me and be my friend forever." As she said those words, the staff glowed brightly and poof, right in front of her appeared a beautiful white rabbit with sparkling blue eyes. "Did you say you wanted a friend?" the rabbit asked. Luma nodded, tears of joy streaming down her face. The rabbit hopped closer and nuzzled her hand. "Then let's be friends," he said with a smile. And just like that, Luma was no longer alone. She and the rabbit became the best of friends, playing together every day in the fields of lollipop flowers and candy cane trees. The two friends had so much fun exploring their magical world, and they never felt bored or lonely again. Luma learned that even when things seemed scary or difficult, she could always find a way to help her friends, and that true friendship could make even the loneliest days feel like a dream. That's all for today, little ones. I hope you enjoyed joining Luma on her adventure in the Dream Tree Galaxy. Remember, no matter what challenges you face, you always have the power to be kind, helpful, and true to yourself. And who knows, maybe you'll make a friend or two along the way. Sweet dreams until next time.